Hey, Empress Vibrant here. Hope everyone is bliss. So, happy Sunday. I hope everybody is doing all right, feeling good. If not, it's only temporary. So, big up the patrons who attended the astrology and tarot weekly forecast with myself and Daryl Whitaker. It was a very powerful session. You can catch that up. It'll be pinned in the Patreon. If you are not a patron, why are you not? Subscribe. That way you'll be up to the time with the new moon and full moons, which we're having a moon or full moon today. I look forward to seeing you this evening. Links are in the description box to join up. And today's session was just amazing. We do our reflections off camera. So to be involved in the reflection sessions, in the midst of that, please subscribe to the Patreon. Links are in the description box for your readings. All the information is in the description box as well for myself and Daryl, who is an astrologer, life coach, and quite a few things actually. But his stuff is linked beneath, so you can get his full details if you want to book live coaching or book a natal reading or your little, get a full breakdown of what's going on with you. So, today I just wanted to do a little overall October reading. I was supposed to have done this last week, the week before, just last week, just before the weekend. We're 1 week in, we're going into our second week of October. Let's get a little vibration of what is to come. If you want to know what it has in store for you personally, book yourselves your personal readings, and also join the Patreon to be involved in the new moon and full moon meditations, weekly astrology every Sunday at 11 a.m. GMT time officially. And today's session is on at 8 p.m. GMT. So love to see you. There is patron only readings over there as well. Let's see what's going on. Overall energy. Try and be on point. Phoebe's kind of like earlier. Jeez. We got. Okay. That just spun out. Okay, so overall, the things that we'll probably be dealing with is affairs of the heart. We've got number 33, which is door to romance. So we're vibing on opening the doors to new love, possibly allowing somebody else back in. So now I'm getting a little bit of an anxious tummy with this one. I think for some of you, it's like a bit of a trepidation opening the door up and kind of giving the key to your heart again. Fear of being hurt, fear of being let down. Because a lot of you are healing from the past. We've got broken heart here. So you've been brokenhearted, or some of you are still dealing with the aftermath or dealing with the scars that are on the heart. And do you really, really have what it is to open up these doors again? But we also have the goddess of the moon, who is about emotions, who is about dreams and about, feeling all your emotions. Today's the full moon, so emotions will come up to the surface. I think it's going to be definitely around things that have been hard, opening up to trust again. Your dreams are going to hold a lot of key for your survival, key to what things are going to support you feeling better throughout this season. Full moons traditionally are about things that we're letting go of, things that are going to come up to come out, emotions, conversations. I want to do, it's not going to be a love reading per se, but where we've got daughter romance come up like that next to broken heart, I want to see what's going on with this daughter romance, because I feel for some of you, you are ready to let somebody else in through the Mercury retrograde as well. There were a lot of things that came up, and obviously it's not a great time to start nothing in the Mercury retrograde. So maybe now that we're officially out of it and we're in Libra season, and it's that Venus energy, and it's love and balance and harmony and getting your things in order, maybe this is when I willing to open up the door and see what's really going on the other side. So let's see. With love for the collective in October, this Libra season. What's going on with love? Love in Libra season. One that fell on the floor. Okay, so we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So it's okay to open up the door. This is not rushing. This is getting to know each other. This is a perfect time to just sort of start having those communication, that conversation. You know, and going back to the reading that I done on Patreon, and we were talking about being in reflection mode. And I think being in reflection mode will allow you to look at the things that you have been holding back with, the parts of yourself that you don't necessarily want to show anyone. But definitely it's a great time for reflection, what's working, what isn't, you know, and really this is the time to open up and to be honest. So yeah, have those meaningful communications, speak your mind. You know, these are the ones where you're on the phone for hours or you're sitting down with each other and the conversation is just flowing, you know. And also the other part of that is being able to be comfortable to sit in silence as well, to feel the person, feel the energy that's coming off between you guys, read the energy, read the situation, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what it is that you're putting out, be aware of what it is that you are receiving as well. But I like the fact that getting to know each other, you know, the bond deepens when you start to reveal your innermost selves, you know, to each other. So it's not going to be a thing where you just spilling out your guts or spilling out your guts sake. This is to and from, and this is a two-way street, as it were. So it's not a thing where you're just opening up to just chat for chat's sake. You want to get to know what people are about, and it's not coming from a critical and hard back place where it's like, so what do you want then? Yeah, all men say that, or yeah, you women like to say whatever and whatever, and you know, like there's this kind of like, that's why I said like I felt like a funny thing in my tummy, because I feel there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of mistrust. So I think the more you speak to people, the more you feel the energy, the more you listen to your intuition, you'll be able to kind of gauge what's going on with that person, if the vibration clicks, why they're here, why they've been sent to you, what it is that you're learning from them, you know, what parts of yourself are now being highlighted, parts of yourself that maybe you haven't really put on show. Maybe this person makes you feel comfortable to let that side of yourself out. So I like that. And then we've got express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So I think just even opening the door and saying I'm willing to date, or I'm willing to speak my mind, invite you out on a date, invite you over for dinner, let's go out. Yeah, romantic gestures could be, wanting to do something nice for someone, initiating affection, intimacy, um, you know, you might have wrote something for them, poem, song, maybe the gesture is I'm opening up and I don't usually. That's a romantic gesture. That's something to say I'm open. There's something about you that makes me feel comfortable to open up. Or there's something in me that feels comfortable with exploring that side of myself with you. And then we've got heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So again, that innermost selves, the bond deepens when you have them heart-to-heart communication. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I'm not the most trusting person. I can be a bit prickly with people on the onset, don't give up on me straight away. I am a little bit more colder, I take a little bit more time to warm up maybe, but stick with me. I'm just going to be honest, this is where I'm at. It takes me a while to get to this stage, or wow, I've seen myself open up more than I have done in such a long while. And I think it's because you make me feel comfortable, but I still have my reservations, But there is a beautiful optimism where there is an excitement and it's like, wow, I want to let him know that I like it and I want to move it to the next stage, or I want to get to, know her better. I want to make a romantic gesture. I want to make her know that I'm serious about this particular situation. I want to pull a tarot card on today. The daughter romance. Yeah, 8 of Cups, walking away. Exactly. I feel like that's probably where that anxiety is coming from, that I felt in my tummy when that card first came out. So I think it's, for some of you, this is, I've walked away from situations, people, places, and things before, and I am not about to sit down in something I'm not down for. I am okay with walking away. Or similarly, maybe a part of the conversations that you might need to have is, sometimes I sit in things for longer than I should do. And this is the reason why you are going through a grueling process right now with me. Because emotionally, I've gone through the ringer. I've had to make moves. I've had to pull the strength to move away from a situation, to step out of my comfort zone, to speak my truth, and I have no issues with walking away. That's a real truthful and honest assessment of yourself, if that's really what's going on with you. And for others of you, this is not necessarily just about saying that you have no issue with walking away. But for some of you, you have walked away. And like I said, for some of you, it feels like the door can be opened. Or maybe someone walked away from you and you're like, it's cool. I see what that relationship was for me. I got everything that I could have got out of that scenario. See if anything else pops up. Now I'm open and I'm ready to see someone else. 5 of Swords. Ugh. Yeah, been through it, man. Had to walk away from somebody who was causing headache, grief, always was on the conflict, loved the argument, but we have to rub up my vein because why are you so argumentative? Why are you so contrary? Why have you always got to say the last thing? Why have you always You know what I mean? Playing the victim out here. Like, why is it always bare mind games? It's swords, isn't it? So it's all the mind. Why are you trying to manipulate the situation? Always trying to be like, yeah, this, that, no, 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 no. And I think that's what you had to walk away from. But I'm glad for some of you, you are definitely open to speak to somebody new, get to know each other, express yourself, make the romantic gesture, and have that communication. Look, I went through some stuff, you know, where I had to walk away to look after me because people were doing this, or someone walked away from me because I was toxic. I was moving mad. You know, I was going through stuff. I was taking out my ish on people and was doing a lot of emotional manipulation. I was working a lot of brain. Maybe I was a person who just finessed myself through situations. But actually now I'm open to something that's actually real. Like after all this time, I'm not actually ready. See what this broken heart has to talk about. What is this about? Broken heart. What happened? Broken heart. Mm. Six of Cups. Things from the past. My heart is still weeping. You know, it's still in patch up mode. I'm still healing from the past. Six of Cups. You know, I'm still healing from, you know, my parents split up, divorce. I'm still healing from this, you know, the relationships that didn't work. I find it difficult, you know, when I reminisce about the past, the things that were great. It makes me feel bad that, you know, things are not in the place that they used to be. So this could be, you know, the closure of a relationship that was very, very close to you or very important to you, held a lot of value. And I feel like this also speaks of loss as well, it speaks of grief, you know, having to continue going through life without this person, without this energy, without this. Yeah, it almost feels like I'm hurt that I have to go through this situation because when I think back at all the fun times, I've got a lot of good memories. There's a lot of nostalgia here. There is a lot of growth, you know, I've been able to really, you know, reflect upon my relationships from childhood to adulthood, you know. Yeah, definitely heartbreak from the past, you know, possible love scenario, being offered love, you know, and possibly this person wasn't quite, I don't know if Knight of Cups, passionate person, you know, maybe they had all the right things to say, you know, they were romantic, you know, they said the right things, you know. I think when you're reminiscing on the good things, they were like, yeah, we had some great times. They were very romantic, soft and gentle. Oh, for some of you, this is definitely loss. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily just be romantic in nature. I feel as though this could be a friend, a childhood friend, you know, who was always offering up good times, always had the right word to say. They were extremely loving and kind. And I think you miss them a lot, you know, and you miss their advice when it came down to scenarios like opening your heart back. you know, to scenarios, to situations. Maybe they were just great at giving advice. And for some of you, similarly, this person who had lots to say. Date night was always shell, shell, shell. But when it really came down to the nitty gritty, it didn't feel right. Or they were doing things to just get things, you know, like take you out so that I can get dessert from you know, but not necessarily being I'm not necessarily honest, but something seems underhanded here. But there's a huge loss. And maybe the heartbroken thing, the thing that's really breaking your heart is that you missed the fucker. You know what I mean? Like, nah, why am I even thinking about this person? Why am I just off on this nostalgic back in the day, back down memory lane? Like, why am I going down memory lane? And you were just chatting for chat's sake. Ultimately, you gave me headache. Caused me inner conflict. I couldn't sleep. My head, man. But I miss you. I miss you. And I think that's why you have to be, you know, you're being open and honest about where you've been, where you're heading, you know, what Three of Pentacles, making sure you're doing things for the right reasons. Or in this context, I'm like, maybe the foundation was a little bit rocky to begin with. Maybe it was a third party sitch, although this is not the Three of Cups. I'm picking up this energy that maybe that's what was jarring, having to share the energy, or maybe you wasn't given everything you think you deserved, or you were doing things for the wrong reasons. Or maybe what was a saving grace is that you had work and you threw yourself into work, you know? And you put things down and was like, you know what? Putting my heart on hold right about now, I'm just going to deal with business. And because I have dealt with situations that I didn't feel like I was in control of, now I'm going to make sure when it comes to my pentacle, when it comes to my money, when it comes to my business, when it comes to work, career, that I'm going to make sure I'm doing things for the right reasons. Because certain times I have, like before, I was saying in the previous card, I was talking about sometimes I just didn't sit. Sometimes I sat in things, and rightly so, I should have left situations that weren't feeling right, that weren't giving me what I needed. But I stayed there anyway. So maybe there was a lot of growth around really reflecting. This is what I'm saying. You guys need to check out the Patreon. Because today's reading was so powerful. And definitely reflection. I think all of that kind of maybe put you in a good stead for work, business. You want to work with the right people, you want to collaborate, but you also want to be compassionate, but also not play no games. You've done that already. See what the goddess of the moon is here. Goddess of the moon, why are you here? What's going on? What are you illuminating? What is going on? So we've got the Page of Wands. You know, the dreams of what you really want. Starting to take action on those things. Putting in routines in place, writing things down. Like I said, reflection is big right now. Intentions, you know, before we get into eclipse season where things start to get chaotic, it's really about that preparation mode. You know, yeah, there's a lot of preparation going on, and I think, you know, in all honesty, your dreams, definitely in dreamscape time, and you know, the desires of your heart and the dreams that pop up, they're going to be things that are going to support you making them moves. The page talks about things maybe that are just at the early stage of the things. You're not even at that stage where you fully committed to something. You know what it is that you want to do. And no, maybe that's its early stages because you didn't want to do nothing in the Mercury retrograde where you just knew things were going to move on a delayed tip, or you weren't going to feel correct, you know, you weren't going to feel completely, you know, supported throughout what it is that you were doing as well. So there's that. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles as well. So possibly dreams or ideas or things that you want to do to share for the community, for charity, you know, you want to be able to give. And maybe that's what you're dreaming about. Things that I'm going to be able to do is going to be able to allow me to support, to give, to invest in others, invest in myself more, invest in the situation, people, places, and things. But this energy where, you know, deciding what you want to do, the dreams, the ambition, starting the new routines, starting to do the things that's going to move you closer to what it is that you want, to be able to support others, invest in yourself, invest in others, to support the general vibe. So it feels like overall affairs of the heart, getting more comfortable with opening up, maybe opening yourself to someone new, reviewing how you're feeling, the emotions that come up, loss, nostalgia, things from the past, old relationships, possibly what supporting that is, helping you focus on what you really need to do, which is get into the work mode, get into, you know, money making mode, you know, the energy with the goddess of the moon being like, right, so focus on starting stuff, focus on doing stuff, you know, get into a stage where you feel comfortable to give. You got it like that, you know, and I think that's where we're heading towards. Let's get some animal spirit advice, words of encouragement, things to focus on. I'm doing what I did last month, maybe see how I feel or what comes up. I'm doing another reading, got things coming up for myself. So what's going to support this month, getting what it is that you need out of it, recognizing that we are in a full moon energy, you know, we're full moon in Aries. So it's, you know, fire, passion, things that come up. So I'm thinking if we're dealing with broken hearts or things that's going on in the mind, what's going to support us is slowing down. We've got tortoise spirit, number 62, we've got tortoise spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. So it's not a thing where everything needs to be patterned up right this minute, but preparation for when things are accelerated or when things get a little bit out of more chaotic and out of whack. Slow and steady is what's going to be supporting you. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Number 2, antelope spirit, life is speeding up. Like I said, things are starting to get, you know, from the Mercury retrograde with the delays and the things not to start and some of the jarring things that came up around that time energetic wise, things will start to speed up, especially as we're coming into this eclipse season where things are chaotic, things come up, moving really fast. So life will speed up, yes, but the way you handle it is steady and with poise and with grace, and you're taking your time, making sure you're taking the time for meditation, you're taking the time for reflection, doing the work that is necessary. You know, you're trying to come into harmony with everything that's going on, trying to find peace in all the situations, you know. So things might be speeding up, but the way you're handling it is different. And I think that's what's really key for this particular time, while we are in Libra season, where it's about balance, where it's about not going to one extreme or the other. It's about finding the balance, finding the harmony with everything. And then lastly, we've got number 32, which is Hawk Spirit. Let spirit be your guide. So listen to the intuition, work with spirit, co-create with spirit. You don't have to do all of this heavy lifting and all of this stuff on your own. There is support here always, so don't be hard on yourself. Allow yourself time to process what's going on. I hope to see you this evening at 8 p.m. GMT time. Click the link in the description box for the link tree. Get into the Patreon. Actually, I've got a link on for the Patreon. Check it out. You've got the free tiers there. If you're about that, just want to see what's going on by week for me. And then it's the first tier. If it's I want to get into this moon phase, I want to get into the full moon and new moon meditations each month. I want to be up to the time of it. I really want to do the activations. I want to do the intention settings. I really want that space to connect with like-minded people. I want to be able to go through some of the audio books. I want to do the activations. I want to get into this Reiki. I just want a space for the right type of people, to connect with, to talk. Then tier 2 is for you. If it's tier 3, then that's more one-to-one with myself. We go through we go through healing tools, we go through activations, meditations, we go through manifestation tools as well. And we do it at a nice pace. It's not anything that's too overwhelming. It's client center led. So it's you, and me working at where you're at and digging through some stuff. We do a lot of coaching, some mentoring, some great things going on over there on the Patreon. And like I said, being involved in a community where the energy is about forward progression and non-judgmental space, but we are all, encouraging one another to expand, and we're supporting each other through the growth, the ups, the downs, the left, the rights. So yeah, that has been the reading. I hope it's been beneficial. Obviously, it's very general and won't resonate with absolutely everyone on every level. However, keep an open mind. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to be open to that love, that connection. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. It doesn't have to be a thing where because you're communicated with this person and you've had a couple of good conversations that, boom, this is what's happening. You're taking your time. But you're also allowing yourself to express, and to receive, of support. So yeah, man, that's the levels. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and hit the notification bell so you'll be up to time when I do drop these videos. Yeah, hit up the Patreon. That's where it's at. That's definitely where it's at. Much love to you guys, and I will see you again soon. Big up yourselves. Yeah.